Christian Nolan, and I'm going to talk to you about the new North Carolina voting law that was passed August of this year. In order to talk about this law, we need to talk a little bit about the history of voting rights in the United States and North Carolina. The 15th Amendment was passed in 1870, shortly after slavery was abolished. And the 15th Amendment reads, "The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude." Then, 100 years later, the Voting Rights Act was passed. And before I talk about that, I'm going to talk quickly about voter suppression in North Carolina. And these practices were common all over the South and even places in the North. Literacy test was one thing used, where they actually had you read from the Constitution. Actually, the literacy law was just recently taken out of the North Carolina Constitution in 2013 that says to vote you have to be able to read in English any part of the Constitution. Poll tax was a tax where you had to pay property tax, or literally just pay like $2 to vote. There's different types of legislation that people don't pay attention to, but they do impact voting. One recently in North Carolina, they tried to pass a law where parents could not use their or put their kids on their tax, like a tax exemption for their kids if they chose to register to vote in North Carolina, which would, I guess, encourage them not to vote. So back to the Voting Rights Act. It was signed in August 1965 by Lyndon B. Johnson. The two sections that are important, or they're all important in this context. Section 5 requires any state or county part of a list to be pre-approved by the United States Attorney General before they pass any kind of voting laws or changes to voting laws. Who is affected by that is Section 4 of the law, which has a formula that determines which counties and states were able to pass laws or not passing laws. This Section 4 was deemed unconstitutional recently by the Supreme Courts in Shelby versus Holder. Soon after that, Pat McCrory, the governor of North Carolina, signed the new North Carolina voting law into effect, along with several states that have made changes that had previously been affected by Section 4. And the voter ID that he claimed wasn't a big deal. You had to board an airplane, you need ID. To buy Sudafed, you need ID. Why not have an ID to vote? However, there are a few more things in the law. One of them being ID requirements for college students, restrictions on what kind of ID you can use. The main thing is you have to show an ID to vote. Early day voting will be going down from 17 to 10 days. And there are more things like witness requirement for absentee voting, older people in nursing homes. Obviously need witnesses to vote absentee. People that work in nursing home cannot be witnesses. That might make it a little bit harder. So there are a few requirements. Who will it affect? Opponents of the law claim it will affect minority voters more. They're less likely to have ID. They're more likely to vote early. Older voters, like I said, in nursing homes, they might also have problems getting to the polling places. So if you restrict early voting, that'll give them less days to get there. Younger voters, such as college students, the college ID requirements might make it a little harder for them. Is it going to affect Democrats more than Republicans? The opponents say it will. The proponents say it won't. The new law is not going to take effect until 16th, so I guess we'll know then. I'm going to show you a quick slide from, this shows 2008 and 2012 early voting, and it does show that Democrats, minority voters, tend to vote earlier. So, do they have a point? Maybe, maybe not. You guys have any questions about the law?
Now, are they going to provide more polling places since they're closing down early voting? And do they have the state is going to provide the witnesses at, say, the nursing homes and things like that as well?
That, about the witnesses, I don't know. I actually read into the law that they might actually shut down polling places. I could be wrong. That's probably going to be another lawsuit. Hopefully they won't. As far as ID, the law does actually state that people can get free IDs. Opponents think it's a big hassle. DMV might be open one day a week, certain counties. You do have a right to get a free ID.
And as far as, I know prior to the law there was a lot of pre-registration with high school students, college students, things like that. As far as that, is that still continued, or?
Will not continue. No automatic pre-registration for high school students or college student. So, even though it always takes an effort to vote, however easy it may be, you have to get in your car, you have to drive there. However hard it is, we all should make an effort. And whether this law will affect it, make it harder or not, just do your best and vote. It's really important.